Hello, Magic the Gathering fans. It is the end of the day on Sunday. I'm wrapping up MagicCon Las Vegas 2024. I'm sorting the cards that I got signed the last 3 days at MagicCon. I'm going to do a quick inventory and show you what I got and give you my commentary and feedback on the whole experience. By far, I think I got the most cards signed that I've ever gotten. I did see a few people in line getting like hundreds of cards signed. I thought that was a little too ambitious, but I did get, like 10 or 12 cards from each artist, and to do that I had to wait in line approximately 30 to 90 minutes for some artists, depending on how many people were in line in front of me. But I waited patiently. I thanked all the artists, I tipped them, and I'll show you the fruits of that labor today. So the first artist I met, Anon Maddox. In my previous video I noted all the sorcery cards I got signed from 4 of the artists. So this video is going to concentrate on the vintage Magic artists, and including Mark Poole, who I put in a separate video because I had some fun booster packs from Mark. So Anon Maddox, I had him sign this Alpha Living Wall. This is going in an Alpha 60 deck, near mint cards that are all signed by the original artists. And then he also had some artist proofs at his table. So I picked up an artist proof of Reconstruction from Antiquities. You'll know it's white card on the back, a blank back. There's no Antiquity symbol. Then I had a couple extra copies signed of Reconstruction, and a couple Disintegrates signed in red with the Posca pen pops on the red. Those are unlimited. Disrupting Scepter for the revised signed set. Breeding Pit from Fallen Empires. Combat Medic, Darelore, High Tide signed in blue Posca, and Thrall Wizard is the final Anon Maddox card. Next, alphabetically in my list, is Dan Frasier. When I was in line for Dan Frasier, I was going to have him sign this Shatterstorm from Antiquities that was incorrectly credited to Mark Poole all the way through, even on the reprinted revised edition. So I had Dan correctly sign the Shatterstorm for my revised signed set, and a copy of Jester's Cap. And while we were in line, there was a cosplayer named Zebex who was dressed up as Jester's Cap. And so she walked by, I recognized Jester's Cap. I didn't recognize her at first, but then she introduced herself, and I got her to sign this copy of Jester's Cap. And so she traded me a sticker that says I play paper, and I got that from Zebex in exchange for a photo. And then I gave her a copy of Jester's Cap because she didn't bring one with her. The next artist I met up with was Douglas Schuler, who co-designed this card with Liz Danforth. So I previously had an artist proof blank back of this Fraley's Supplicant, and Doug had helped Liz take a photo of Doug's friend for the artwork, and so Liz drew a picture based on a photo that Doug Schuler took. So this is an artist proof and a regular copy of Fraley's Supplicant, so I got it double signed. Art is credited to both artists at the bottom. Also, I got a Fissure and a Marsh Gas, some Sarah Angels. I did pick up a Triskelion artist proof, 4th edition, blank back, and a couple copies signed, plus this random Modern Masters 3, actually Modern Horizons 3, by Doug Schuler that he did, Waterlogged Teaching. So I had all that from Doug. That connects nicely to Liz Danforth, who we saw in the sorcery video, but Liz also did a bunch of Magic cards that I collect. So I had her sign a playset of Bazaar of Wonders. I like the art because it reminds me of Bazaar of Baghdad. Some Hymn to Turox and some Merchant Scrolls from Homelands, all signed by Liz, plus all the sorcery cards that I put in the previous video. Then I went over to the Foglios, Phil and Kaya. I got in Kaya's line first. And these two artists I had to wait for the longest because there were some other fans that had several hundred copies of cards. But I'm working on a revised set, and I have some original Antiquities proofs in my artist proof binder. So I got Kaya to sign some copies of both of those sets of cards, including Arabian Nights, Sorceress Queen, one of my favorite cards. We got Primal Clay, a playset of Rabid Wombats from Legends. some Fallen Empires cards, including Rainbow Veil. I had her sign this in silver, and some more, and then Pyroblast in blue, Hydroblast in blue, Pyroblast in red. And then I had them double sign these Mishra's Factories because Phil and Kaya both did the art. So I had Kaya sign these first, and then I took them over to Phil, and I had Phil sign the other ones, some Swords to Plowshares in gold. And then I had Phil, after he double signed the Factories, I had him sign these Avoid Fates in yellow, and a Gaseous Form and a Conch Horn from Phil Foglio. So that's about half of the vintage artists. There were 10 to 11 of them, including Margaret Oregon Keene, who we talked about in the sorcery video. This is Margaret's contribution to the Magic cards I got signed. And Antiquities, Martyrs of Corliss, one of my favorite cards. Then our buddy Mark Poole. I made a separate video just for Mark's cards. They're in this Mark Poole box, plus this booster pack that I opened with some tokens in it. So that's all my Mark Poole cards. Yeah, a couple more left, including the great Mark Tadine. Mark's line was pretty long, but I had him sign a Leviathan from the Dark in silver, a couple more Beta Circle of Protection reds in black. Some more cards from my revised set that I did not have signed by Mark Tadine yet. So we have Flying Carpet, another Mana Vault, Wall of Swords, Wooden Sphere, a 4th edition Urza's Power Plant to match the playset, some Urza's Legacy Second Chances signed in gold because it's a rare card and has the gold set symbol. Also these doubling cubes in gold because they're foil. And then some Circle of Protection reds, Friday Night Magic foils, a Circle of Protection art by Mark Tadine. Mark It's Tadine. And then some Mystical Archives, Swords to Plowshares that Mark drew, signed in gold. This is the etched foil and the non-foil, but they both look pretty good in gold. Also, the Second Chance PSA 8s that I had graded, I had Mark Tadine sign those on the cases. And I think last but not least, in the vintage realm, Richard Kane Ferguson did a bunch of cards in Fallen Empires. So I had him sign these Basil Thralls and Turok Chance, these in gold, plus a foil Brothers War Disenchant, just because I like the card Disenchant and thought it was cool that RKF drew that reimagined artwork. The last thing I got, when I was at each of the Vintage Magic artists that you see on this table, I had them sign a pack of Fallen Empires. So these packs have all 10 signatures on the packs. They were pretty fun to get collected. I got them all done on the first day on Friday. A lot of other fans in line commented. It was kind of like a fun conversation piece to show them, hey, what are you getting signed? And we talked about that. Those packs remind me of the Shin Lim Limitless show. We saw that on Saturday night, and they had these bicycle cards that they were kind of stuck in everyone's seats. So these wrappers were part of the show. Everyone got to open them when Shin Lim did his show, so that was pretty cool. That was at the Venetian. Highly recommend MagicCon Vegas 2024. That was just the recap from the Vintage Magic artists that I got mainly on Friday. So if you stay tuned, like this video, subscribe to the channel. Tomorrow I'm going to go through all the more modern, pre-modern artists that I got signed. That's obviously it's more cards than the room on the playmat. And so at the very end I'll give you a tally and I'll count up all the cards and let you know how many cards I bought. I had a lot of fun. I'm really tired if you can't tell. It's been a lot of standing in line and just kind of staying hydrated and talking to all the artists. It's great to catch up with them. Good to see them all again this year. I hope them safe travels for their next conventions and hope to see everybody in MagicCon Chicago next year, 2025. Cheers, everyone.